As an immigrant, as somebody who grew up in this state and has seen the disparities across the state in many different cultures, demographics, you name it, I think that Senator Sinema has represented every single one of those fights. She's represented diversity, and she today represents, as our senior senator, every essence that Arizona is compiled to be. That, I think, is a true value to what can be done in Washington, D.C., and what can be done in a tumultuous political environment when every single time she stands right in the middle, regardless of political parties, ensuring that she's doing the right thing for Arizona.
The senator has realistically and effectively dealt with mitigating our danger of a catastrophic fire. It's refreshing to see somebody in that position actually do something. And I've been around this stuff long enough to recognize when somebody is doing the right thing. We got to come together, put politics aside, and put the country first. And that's what Senator Sinema is doing. And I'm very proud of her. I'm very proud.
I would say Arizona has no greater advocate than Senator Sinema when it comes to securing the defense and clean energy supply chain. Without her leadership, I don't know if we'd have the amazing people that we have around the table working together, because it's not every day that an environmental group will sit down with a mining company and talk about how do we work together.
The thing I really enjoy most about her is she does what's right. It's not party issues, it's bipartisan. She does what she thinks best for Arizona, and I think that's fantastic. I just wish more people would do that.
I want to solve the crisis that's in front of us, and I'll do it with any colleague I can and as much as I can.
Well, having such a large delegation of senators here, I believe is the first time humans ever experienced that level of commitment. It's actually a glimmer of hope on the ability to look forward to maybe some positive solutions coming out of Congress.
You know, the Bipartisan Infrastructure Act really is a historic piece of legislation. This is what's going to allow us really to have a secure future going forward. It will allow cities like Mesa to continue to develop and to be a great place for our children to stay, our grandchildren to stay, for this to continue to be an area that's going to flourish for generations to come.
I was fortunate to have a front row seat to that negotiation of the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, and there's three things that I know for sure from that experience. First is passing the law broke the logjam of Congress, showing that we can get meaningful things done even when there's opposition from the gun lobby. Second is that this is a life-saving law that does address all forms of gun violence. And third, most importantly, is that this law does not pass without the leadership of Senator Sinema. You know, this bill was good policy, taking action was good politics, but I can tell you that's always been this case. This issue, my 20 years working on this, we've always had good policy. We've always had public opinion, but it took real leadership to get it done. It took a leader to build the Gang of Four to negotiate this bill. It took a champion to address the dating partner loophole. And really, you had the credibility to get this bill not just drafted and negotiated, but over the finish line, not with 60 votes, but with 64.
In addition to being unwilling to march along a party line as I was told to do, what I did instead was forge meaningful bipartisan relationships with folks across the political spectrum and passed incredible legislation that has changed the lives of Arizonans and will continue to do so for years to come. So what I'm hoping is that these last 2 years of work, whether it be the Bipartisan Infrastructure Law, the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the Respect for Marriage Act, Electoral Reform Count Act, I mean, the list is really long. Each of these pieces of legislation passed with broad bipartisan majorities through the United States Senate, passed through the House, signed by the President. I hope that that demonstrates to Arizonans and to America that our system works better when we put down the partisanship, when we seek to find the common ground, and when we block out that noise of the detractors on the outside who seek to destroy the opportunity to solve those bipartisan challenges.